Alright, so here we are. This is day 3 of the annual, and we just finished going through the logbooks, and nothing major is due this year. Next year, however, I have to overhaul the propeller. I have to replace all the fuel and oil hoses inside the airplane, and I probably should have the mags looked at, even though it's not 500 hours. It's been a few years since we had the mags inspected. So today we're gonna check the compression. I didn't put too many hours this year on it, so we're not going to clean the spark plugs, but we're going to do a compression check. We're going to check the timing, the magneto timing. We're going to inspect we're going to cut open the oil filter and take a look at the contents, the pleats, and also the bottom of the can. And then the mechanic is going to conduct his visual inspection of all the pulleys and cables and engine and all sorts of things. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so the first step of the compression check is you take out either the top or the bottom plugs. We're doing the top plugs. You got to remove them, and then we put in this special insert into one of the cylinders, and then we connect the hose to it with a differential compression meter, and it's supposed to be 80 psi, and then they measure the difference. So we'll show you the next step in a few minutes. Okay, so here we have the 6 top spark plugs, and they are nice and dry, and the mechanic looked at them and they are just fine. So we're good for another year. Alright, there's that adapter that screws into the cylinder, and we're going to hook up the air hose to it and then the gauge to it, and then we'll do a compression check on cylinder number 6. Alright, so the gauge is hooked up, and there it is. The PSI is right about, he's going to set it to 80 right there. And then he's going to move the prop around and get a reading. And the reading is 76 out of 80. That is very good. Alright, and then we'll repeat the same steps for all the additional 5 cylinders. So what the act that he's doing is moving the prop around is actually to find top dead center, which means that both the exhaust valve and the intake valves are closed. This way he can tell whether a cylinder is leaking because of the valves that are leaking, or from the rings themselves. Okay, so here are the results of the compression check. Cylinder number 1 is 72 out of 80, number 2 was 76, number 3 was 78, number 4 was 79, number 5 was 77, and number 6 is 76. Those are excellent numbers. And before you put the spark plugs back, you got to change the copper gaskets over here. As you can see, these are kind of aged, and we're putting new ones in there. And we also need to add some anti-seize compound, which looks like that. And that's it for the spark plugs. Okay, and the last step is you got to torque down the spark plugs to between 30 to 35 foot-pounds of torque. Oh, and by the way, the other day when I mentioned this 0540, the 540 cubic inches translates to 8.2 liters. It actually translates to 8.85 liters, which is a pretty big engine. Okay, so we're starting the process to check the mag timing, and the first step is you got to remove the two P leads from the mag. Now this is a dual mag into one housing magneto, so there are two P leads. So we disconnect those guys, and then we put some dummy leads that we attach the timing box to it, which is right here. And then right there you can actually see a marking on the flywheel, and he's going to again move the propeller around and try to get some readings on the mag timing here. You just connected the ground lead.
On that side, so you can see the time marks.
Yeah, so there's the timing mark. There's a piece of tape right over there. And the timing box is humming. It's supposed to be on 23.
It's 23.
That's what it's supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're right on 22 degrees. Is a BTC, right?
Yes.
Yeah, before, BTC stands for before top dead center. Okay, so there's the data plate for the engine, and it does say 23 degrees BTC, so we're good to go. All right, we're going to cut the oil filter open and inspect it, and it requires a special tool. Okay. Oops. Okay, and there are two places where you want to check. One is at the bottom of the can, and there we're going to take a final look in there to see if there's any metal pieces, and then we are going to look at the pleats inside the filter. And if you turn the filter back around, that little metal white piece is when I punctured the can to drain the oil through that little hole right there. So that's nothing to worry about. All right. So we open it up, we spread. You can also cut them and really spread them out, but our mechanic here is top notch, and he can just look and see that everything is nice and clean, no shiny particles. So the engine is not making metal. Alright, as you can see, the spinner's back on, so the visual inspection was accomplished. It went pretty well. We just found a couple of little things. One I already knew about, and that was the co-pilot side aileron. There's a little bit of play in the center hinge point right over here. And we already knew about that. We're going to get that taken care of before I get the airplane painted. And only the other thing that we found is there are a couple of hoses for the fuel lines. You can see one of them right there. We just replaced these in 2009, so that was what, 4 years ago, because we put new fuel bladders in here, and they're showing some weather checking already, weather cracking. So unfortunately the tanks are full right now, so I'm going to wait until I fly off almost to empty, and then we're going to replace those two little hoses. They're pretty small, they're about 3 inches or so. There's 2 of them, and they're both showing some weather cracking. They're not leaking or anything, but we're going to replace those as well. And that was about it. The inspection went pretty well, as I said. No major surprises. And on Friday we're going to do the gear swing, and we're also going to rebuild those down lock actuators that I found were leaking when I did my own inspection. So that's about it for tonight.